You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
The main event, the entrances cool, everything cool. The fight itself, though, Ty, it was a snoozer, man. I'm not usually one to say that. Colby really did nothing. He started this fight off and just let his legs get chewed up. I thought he was going to try and push a pace on Leon Edwards, and he was going to try and get in his face and make him active. And, I thought maybe at one point you would see Edwards rock him, which, Colby's been known to get rocked, but his recovery has always been, pretty good just due to that cardio that he has and just the, like we said, pressure, pace, everything that he puts on him. But, Ty, the first two rounds he essentially just gave away. He really didn't do anything. He circled the outside of the cage. He let Leon control the center, and that was it. Like you could just tell right away. It's like, oh wow, like I'm on the wrong side here. That's what I had. I know you're a smart man to keep staying away from these main events because it just doesn't seem like it ever, equals out or works well. I thought that the line about his father was obviously not good. You shouldn't say shit like that. That's just wrong. But I think in the mental warfare aspect, I think it was a good, smart thing to do because it looked like it was Edwards. You never seen him throw bottles or get that worked up. So maybe you were going to try and get him off his game and maybe get him to go wild and you'd be able to take him down, or I don't know. But I just don't get what Colby's game plan was, because he said that it was part of his game plan to stay on the outside, and I'm like, well, then you need to go back to the drawing board or get new coaches, because in no way, I'm just a regular guy, and I could have told you that's not the way to win this fight. You staying on the outside is exactly what Leon Edwards wants you to do, and it was just kind of a little bit of a point fest. That there was a couple of, I think he didn't shoot his first takedown until the third round. It felt like I don't know.
Not in the first, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Half-hearted attempt.
Half-hearted, right? It didn't seem like it was really a sincere one. The one, I think later on in the fight, he started to pin him up against the cage, and he wasn't having true success. But he eventually did, get him to the ground based off of Leon himself trying to get him to the ground, which he did do at one point. So it wound up being, 50-45, and then a 49-46. I think that's what I probably would have had it at. You might have been able to give him that. I think it was the fourth round, but that one was close, and I don't see really. The only round he won, Colby, was the last round. Other than that, it was kind of all Leon Edwards. So I guess, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I kind of had the same overarching opinion. I guess overall, I thought Leon landed the better shots, obviously, and he went to the body pretty well. He went to the legs. There was a lot of leg kicking. His jab was really working well. Colby wasn't really just he couldn't land anything. I think he landed 34% of his strikes, significant strikes. So yeah, all around, just when he finally got to take down the third round, he got taken down himself.
Yeah.
So that was a big moment for Leon, and yeah, that's like. How many times has Colby done that? I guess it did work, right? Because Leon backstage, he said he was crying backstage. He was so worked up and so fired up with emotions, but he was able to hone it all in. Also came in weighing 185 on fight night, so he was able to. It was clear that he was a stronger man, I think, in there.
Yeah.
Colby always talks about how he fights at 170, he walks around at 170 because that's his weight class and whatnot, but. So maybe that's a little against, working against him, I guess. But you remember he made fun of the Black Zillion founder or owner, Glenn Robinson, when he died, saying something about him going to hell. Said something about Kamaru's dad who's in jail or was in jail. So yeah, I love all the talk, all the shit talking. It's the UFC. In some ways, what Dana says, like. It's the fight game, very cliche and annoying, but in some ways he is correct. But if you're going to be indecent just for the sake of indecency, I don't think that's interesting. I don't think that's clever. I don't think that's funny. I think that's just, if you're listen, if it's going to get a pop, like what he said about Ian Gary's wife, who here has fucked Ian Gary's wife? And the crowd goes crazy. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought
that's funny.
Even that's a little too much, but Ian Gary, if he was there, he should have been there, and then maybe he could have, done something about it, but also, he kind of deserves it with all the shit he did with Vicente Luque on his Instagram picture. That was corny as fuck. So he deserves some of the flack coming his way. Leon Edwards, Obviously, there's things about his dad being a drug lord or a warlord or some kind of whatever, being involved in criminal activity. But I don't think that has anything to do. I know actually it doesn't have anything to do with Leon's connection with his own father that gave birth to him, and
Yeah.
the despair that he is in from losing him at a young age. Like, so Colby and his fans just absolute shitbags. And now Colby is the first fighter to ever lose 3 undisputed title fights. So hopefully he doesn't get another one.
I think what and honestly, I didn't really talk about it in my little monologue, which I should have mentioned, is why I'm. I mean, I guess why I'm more. This is partially is why I'm upset at myself for picking Colby, is the fact that I did not know that he was going to kind of fall off a cliff like you had made mention of in our preview pod. It seemed like that line we talk about, and you could say it, the line of what?
Demarcation.
The line of demarcation, that being when you turn 35 and you are in this title picture spot, that the odds are 100% stacked against you. Not maybe 100%, but numbers aren't in your favor. You start to fall off a little bit. Him being off for what? Almost 2 years. It looked like it was a factor. And maybe it's ring rust, like he made mention of, which is an excuse. That's just an excuse. Dominic Cruz has told us, many a time that it's not real. I think there is a part of it, but I think a lot of it is mental. I think that's why Dom Cruz says it's not real, because there's really no thing to say that you should be, like maybe you're just not comfortable or whatever, but it's not like he just forgot how to fight in the last couple of years. It's more that he wasn't comfortable in there, and you could tell it right away. His stance was weird. Did you see? Like, he was just like standing upright and just eating leg kick after leg kick, and he kept he came out like fighting orthodox. And so like Leon was matching him, but like I just didn't understand the whole I'm going to stand here and strike with you. Like if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out on my sword. That's kind of how Colby's always been, where he will, just keep trying to shoot that takedown and keep trying to get it to the ground, even if it's just, hopeless, he's still going to keep trying to go for it. And I don't know. I don't get why he waited so long to try and enact some of his game plan. Now, Leon presents a big problem on getting inside because he's so fast. He was so much faster than him, especially standing in the striking department. And he's much bigger than him, just stature-wise. I don't know about height and all that, but I just think, like you made mention of, 185 plus, in there, when Leon or Colby's probably like a 175, like he's made mention of, he's not cutting a ton of weight. So I don't know. I thought maybe he might wait the first round, wait a little bit to kind of, maybe a couple, some of the steam comes off those punches from Leon, but he really didn't. He never went. And I don't get it. And I don't feel bad for him at all. He's talked all this shit. He has created a situation where all this hate is surrounding him at all times, and he deserves it because he fought like a coward on Saturday.
Yeah. The leg kicks really kind of just were a big factor early on. When, by the time Colby wanted to try to wrestle, he was already kind of behind the 8 ball, round wise, and just in general. Like, he couldn't really plant his leg into the ground and drive and get that takedown like he could if he was fresh.
Yeah.
In the first 2 rounds. So yeah, just a big mistake, and they should give him Shavkat next. That should be the his final straw.
Shavkat for Colby, you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean,
ragdoll him.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I would obviously pick Shavkat. I think he's just a much more well-rounded. I think, didn't we? I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure either you had the bet that he was going to be the champion by the end of the year, and it's not your fault. This guy, he definitely could be. If this was him in this fight, we might be talking about a different story about and new as opposed to and still. But I guess what Colby's at 3 now. He's going to drop down a little bit. Shavkat's at 5. He's going to hop up a little bit. So it might not even be worth Shavkat's time to fight a Colby Covington esque guy. Leon's already said he's not that Bilal is not worthy of a title shot. I think that's more of just hate from Bilal sitting around and not really kind of just sitting on his number. But I don't get that, dude, because Leon was a guy who was denied multiple times and was kind of, felt like he was wronged and felt like he was getting screwed over and over again, and lots of bad luck and things of that nature. So I don't know why he would then turn as soon as he gets, in somewhat of a position of power and is going to say, nah, Bilal, you're not worthy. Like, if it's not Bilal, then who does he think he should fight?
Yeah, Shavkat would be a much harder fight for him than Bilal. Bilal would be, I don't want to say an easy fight, but I think Leon beats Bilal 100%. I think he's better than him all around.
It would kind of look similar to this Colby fight, honestly. I do believe that.
So, does he want Shavkat next? Because that's much. He will lose that fight, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, it's, Gilbert Burns, he's fighting, what's his name? Who's he fighting? Is it Jack Della or no?
No. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They just announced it for $299. Jack Della.
That'd be nasty. So.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be exciting. Gilbert Burns is gonna smash him. For the record, let me just say that.
I think so, but if he's that chin might be compromised. Yeah. He's getting up there in age too, but he should. After what we saw in his last fight with Jack Della, I'm with you there. But also, it's funny that Kamaru Usman's still number 1 in the welterweight division. That should definitely be number 3 or 4. And Colby right now is 3, but he will definitely fall out of the top 5. Sean Brady might enter the top 5 or top 6. Who knows? We shall see. We shall see. The welterweight division, not the best. Looking at it for 1 to 15, I'm not too enthused. I don't see that many prospects ish. I guess if you want to count Ian Gary and Jack Della. I like Renat at 15, but we've seen him kind of.
Yeah, he had a rough showing the last time out. Yeah.
So 170 is deep, I'll say that. But contender wise, I don't know, man. Kamaru's on his way out. Bilal, I don't think is that young. Colby's on his way out. Gilbert's on his way out. Wonderboy's out, as far as I'm concerned. I think Shavkat's ascending. Leon's the champ. Sean Brady, I guess, is ascending. Jeff Neal's kind of old, but I think Jeff Neal just got that Ian Machado Gary fight.
Yes, he did. $299 as well. That's the next time we're gonna be like
$299 looks good. We definitely have something to talk about there. But yeah, this the whole thing with Ian Gary wearing the mugshot of Jeff Neal as a T-shirt. I hope Jeff Neal has something for him when they fight, because I will be cheering for him to get I will be betting on him to get a TKO. So let's do it.
As will I. So, good on Leon Edwards. I would like to see them just... I don't want to see Bilal, but I think we have to have that fight happen to kind of just get it out of the way so that we can stop hearing Bilal complain. But for me, it's either Bilal or Shavkat. That's pretty much it. Maybe if the Gilbert Burns fight was sooner, then you could say that, but I don't know. I would like to see, Sean Brady, UFC's coming to Atlantic City soon, so he says he wants to be at the top of that card. That would be interesting. I don't know who he would fight at the top of that card. Maybe, it could be Luque. Give us Colby. Give us a Colby Covington.
That'd be awesome.
That would be sick. Just a wrestle. I think Sean Brady would fuck Colby Covington up, but
yeah, he would dog
at this point. But I don't know. Maybe Colby Covington just had an off night. I don't know, but I doubt that. I think
he's done.
I think he might be done. And
his best was the first Usman fight.
Yeah, he looked good in that second one too.
But it just wasn't as close as the first one. I thought the first one was 2-2 going in the 5th.
Yep.
The second one, I think he might have lost 3-2, 4-1.
Might have lost the first 3 rounds, and then I think he won the last 2. I think that's how it was. And that third round was where he lost the first 3 minutes, and then he got dropped at one. It was just a wild fight, but. That was just a perfect. It just goes to show you that these matchups are kind of they dictate everything. It's all matchup based. And then you see a Colby get in here with a guy like Leon, and it looks like an absolute snooze. Snooze fest. Before this fight, we would have thought this was going to be exciting either way. Maybe a head kick. Maybe Colby was very concerned about the body and head kicks, which he took that out of play. It wasn't really a factor other than that one landed on the back of the head, kind of. But
yeah.
Yeah, listen, good for Leon Edwards. I'm happy that he. I'm honestly happy that he won, because I don't think I would have been. Even I would have won money, so that would have been great. But don't think we would have. It would have been fun dealing with Colby sitting on the title for probably another year, and waiting to fight somebody. So, did you see Islam saying that he wants to fight Leon Edwards? Do you care about that at all?
But I think Leon's more likely to go. Well, actually, I guess if Leon can stay at 170, which I'm sure he can, he just, he's not that big. He's not like Sean Brady, who cuts up to rehydrates up to 193, which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
And And Islam's a big boy. I think Islam would go up. I think Islam would beat Leon fairly easily. I think.
I do too, honestly. I mean,
Bad matchup.
he might be the only guy. Like, that would be the one thing that he could that would absolutely solidify his legacy and make him better than Khabib. Truly, I know that kind of sounds like I've been trying to push this narrative, but I do believe it. Like, I think he has all the capabilities and skills to be better than Khabib. Khabib was better in one thing than him, and I think he's the best all-around guy that's come out of that area. I think if he cooks a Leon Edwards and becomes the champ, then really what can you say? Because that is the one thing we always kind of said about Khabib. He was a weight bully, yada yada yada, all that nonsense. But I mean, that would just be a super fight, awesome sort of event, which they could do for 300 if they don't get McGregor and Chandler to sign on the
You
timeline.
are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.